Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back in Minecraft again, and today we are going to be building an orchard, if I remember rightly from last time. This is just to like get a load of wood to yeah, build constructions and stuff. I like kind of using like all the same wood in the area that I'm in, so yeah, we're going to build an oak orchard. We should have enough saplings and stuff, I hope. So yeah, this episode is mainly just going to be construction and landscaping and stuff. It's going to be a pretty big orchard. Normally I do it like 16 trees, like 4x4, but then leave like big enough gaps in between to be able to walk between the trees and have torches and stuff to light it up. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of sort of landscaping and maths and stuff, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, might as well get started. I think I'll clear away some of these. Is it... I don't know whether are they acacia, or are these just like savanna? I can't actually remember what they're called now, but yeah, these trees we'll get rid of and then start landscaping out the area. It depends how long it'll take. And I forgot to... I literally opened my stopwatch app, but I didn't actually press start on the stopwatch, but at least I caught it earlier this time, so should be a bit more accurate. So yeah, let's start cutting down some trees. Charge. Oh, my axe is nearly gone as well, so that'll probably go in a few swipes. There we go. What type of wood's this? It is... Yep, the axe is gone. Okay, oh, it is acacia. Okay, I was right. Alright, let's make a new axe then. In my little room. There we go. We got some sticks. Should we use iron? Is that all the iron I have? Yeah, I think I might just use stone for... Or should I use iron? I don't know. I mean, I've still got a stone pick and stuff. I'll use stone for now, I think. I might wait till I've at least got like a stack of iron or something. Okay, there we go. Stone pick. Right. So let's go. Chopping down trees. So, how have things been going? This is where I go on to like the random talkative conversation to keep the video interesting. Today I went to therapy again. That was fun. Yeah, it was quite interesting with today because we went over like everything that happened over the last week, but then we also did some kind of exercises in regards to like the rumination techniques and stuff, and like I think it was more like kind of changing the focus between internal and external, so doing some exercises of that, and it was really interesting with how kind of visceral the feeling and emotion was with it. Like it was mainly kind of like doing exercises with like what I could see, what I could hear, and what I could touch, so going with those three senses and monitoring it like internally and then externally, and it's crazy like how differently I actually felt and how kind of like visceral the feelings were with that, which was yeah, pretty great to kind of recognize, which was good. So yeah, that was pretty much all therapy today. The tasks for this week are just to continue with the YouTube and try and be a bit more successful than last week, because I did get the power simulator video done, but there were just like other things that, I mean, I mentioned in the power simulator video, there were just like other things that came up that were just getting in the way. So hopefully this week it should be a bit of a quieter week and I should just be able to get on with some stuff. So yeah, like building an orchard in Minecraft. Yeah, this bit's going to be a problem here because I'm going to have to like probably fill this section in, so yeah, that's going to be a bit challenging, but we'll try. Right, is that all the trees gone from this area? What I might do is, what I'll get, hold on, where's that tree in line with? Yeah, that tree will be in the area, so I'll need to get rid of that one. So I'll get rid of this tree, then I might fill in this area here with some dirt. But yeah, 2 weeks away from Tower's opening. Very exciting. Yeah, it's going to be really awesome. I actually put up a post today because I've been getting like withdrawal from not being at Towers, really missing the place. And so thought I'd, for once, instead of incredibly negatively posting, I thought I might as well try and spread a bit of positivity, make myself feel a bit better. So I posted up asking everyone what they're most excited about for this season. So if you do follow me on Twitter and you want to reply to that post, then be my guest. And yeah, just thought it would spread a bit of positivity and, you know, rarity for me. And yeah, just try and get hyped about opening, because it's literally like less than 2 weeks at this point. So very exciting. Next week I should also be, hopefully, I'm just confirming today, but I might be going up to see Mike and Stace from Love to Explore briefly before opening, because I think Stace is off work for the week, so we thought it'd be a nice little meet-up, which would be good. It's surprising that, so I've seen them on, like, obviously when I've been on Love to Explore a lot of times, but actually seeing them in person, I've only met them properly twice. I mean, there was technically opening day, but we didn't really know each other at that point. I think Stace made a comment about my Doctor Who umbrella, but that was about it. But yeah, actually seeing each other properly in person, it's only been Mardi Gras and Oktoberfest, so yeah, it's kind of crazy that we haven't really seen each other that much. So yeah, it'll just be nice to spend some proper quality time together, and I believe we might be going to Matlock for the day or something, which will be nice. Never been. I don't really think I've been up to that part of the country really, so it'll be cool to go. And yeah, just have a chill few days before opening, and I believe they're going to opening day as well, so you know, the whole group of us. Yeah, that'll be exciting. Yeah, though, I'm definitely getting a bit more hyped for Nemi now, though, which is good. Yeah, the hype's setting in a bit more. I've been seeing more kind of like pictures and stuff. It's a bit hard to avoid them, to be honest, on Twitter, but I mean, I still think there's going to be some surprises on the day and stuff, which will be good, especially with some of the characters and stuff that they're going to have out. There's definitely going to be some surprises. And of course, with the ride itself, there's definitely bits that are hidden, which is good. So, yeah, looking forward to all that. They're definitely adding a lot more theming to the queue line, which I'm very glad about, because that's something I've been like wanting for years, like actually adding theming, and they finally are. So that's brilliant. So yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, just clearing out these weeds and shrubs. Which reminded me of Animal Crossing this as well, because you have to clear out a bunch of weeds there as well. That's just the pixelated version of it. Right, do I have dirt? I do. Do have dirt. So let's put this dirt in the gap. Not up there, down there. As you can tell, as usual, very tired. I think that's just from, I just had quite a busy weekend as well, so, yeah, quite tired from that. And obviously therapy this morning, which, as I say, like, you know, it's great, it's helpful, but, yeah, it's tiring as well. So, yeah, and I think especially today, very kind of very emotionally tiring as well, because of, like, the kind of things we're practicing in session with the whole focus practicing things. Yeah, my mind's just melted today. We don't actually have that much dirt, so I'm actually going to have to get some more dirt, and I'll go to bed. Again, which I probably need to do in real life. Yeah. Just checking through my notifications quick. Alright. Let's go. Yeah, there's not really been much else that's happened, really, apart from recording. Met up with David at the weekend. That was nice. Nice bit of company. Played some LEGO Dimensions as well. Started a different save slot on it. And opened up the Ghostbusters pack early so we could play that. So yeah, that was cool. Introducing them to that amazing game. Right. Where shall I get the dirt? I normally like to start from like the top of a mountain, so maybe over here. Get some dirt. I remember in that I have the other kind of world on this called the safe space. In that one, I was trying to like landscape. It was like a massive mountain. So yeah, there was so much to take down. Right, I'll start up here. Start getting some dirt. It's also really cool when I launched into the game on this. They've now added a thing where you can just launch straight into the world, which is great. You don't go to the main menu or anything. You just launch straight into... you can pick a world and launch straight into it, so that's cool. I don't think there's been a new update, so I think it was 1.20.4, so I think that was the same as the version that I've already been on. Can't remember. Yeah, not really much else happening. My cats have been cute as usual. That's all I can really say about them. They've been sometimes sleeping under the stairs now, which is quite cute. I think some stuff's been cleared up, so now a little cat bed's been put down there. So yeah, I sometimes just go under, turn the landing, sorry, not the landing light on, the light on under the stairs, and just see Phoebe down there. But I actually have to turn the light on for her as well because she's black. So yeah, it's very hard to see her when it's dark. God, I have no conversations to talk about today, I don't think. Hyperia's had its first drop put in. That's nice. Again, I haven't really been keeping up with Hyperia too much, but yeah, I do know that the first drop's gone in. But like, a load of people have been saying about how, like, ooh, how scary and intense it's going to be. I think until I'm actually there and I see it, I'm not really going to be able to kind of visualize how kind of intense. And like, I know it's going to be a big ride, but it's like, I've never really seen rides that big before. Like, I haven't been to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I mean, that's another thing that's happened. Pleasure Beach opening this weekend, just gone, which from what it looked like, it was chaos. Which, I mean, I would have liked to have been there, but I think me going there for the first time, it would have been like really busy and just really quite intense with a lot of people there. I mean, it would have been nice to see a lot of people, especially people who I've talked to online but I haven't really met in person. It would have been nice to see them, but yeah, I think adding on the fact that I haven't been to Pleasure Beach before, I think that just would have made it quite stressful. So, I mean, it's already given, like with opening day for Towers, not next weekend, the weekend, well, yeah, it would be next weekend, not this weekend. Confusing. Oh my god, I'm choking. But yeah, with Towers' opening, yeah, that's already going to be stressful enough with like the social anxiety and stuff, but I think there's also going to be, at least I like know Towers well, and at least I'll be with a group of people that I know, but I will, if I see anyone else I recognise and they recognise me, I'm more than happy to say hello. If you do recognise me on Park, I'm more than happy to say hello. It's just that I find it difficult to be the first person to say hello. So I may look very kind of like, a lot of the time I may look quite serious, quite kind of reserved, but if you come up to me, I'll probably be very happy and say hello and hi and how are you, and yeah, more than happy to do that. More than happy to socialise. It's just I'm very bad at making the first move, so I look like I'm very kind of closed off, but if you start talking to me, I'll probably be very happy talking to you, especially if it's like a scare event when I'm in costume. More than happy to talk then. Yeah, I'm definitely more out of my shell when it comes to scare season, but yeah, more than happy to talk and socialise. But yeah, Pleasure Beach, I feel like, because not only would there be a lot of people there, and it's kind of like the big first, like, kind of Thursday event of the year in a way, just like, going to Velvet Spoon and stuff like that. I've never been there either. I need to go to Velvet Spoon at some point. Not Velvet Spoon, it's a Weatherspoons that's called the Velvet Coaster, isn't it? Not Velvet Spoon. Oh my god. But yeah, there'll be all that kind of socialising, but then also I don't know much about Pleasure Beach, and it's also just because I don't really have much money at the moment. Like, I've got my Universal credit in, but I've only had the first payment in so far, which means I'm having to, like, save up. Fortunately though, the next payment comes in literally the day before opening day, so yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully a load of money to use when I'm on Park. See if there's any new merchant and stuff, and get food and things. But God, I wonder how busy Roller Coaster Restaurant's going to be on opening day, because obviously with it being in Forbidden Valley as well. I think I might have to get a black vanilla ice cream as well from Curse if we go around to the Alton Manor area. I'll have to definitely get that. Although I think on opening day, I'll see what Mike and Stace are doing. I'll probably ask them when if I do go up to them. I think it will be. Hopefully, be nice to see them again. But yeah, I'll see what their plans are, because I know that David and Nathan and the Joneses, they're all going to be in the hotel, so they're probably going to be going through the hotel entrance, while I'll be going through the main entrance probably. So if Mike and Stace are going to be going through the main entrance as well, I'll hopefully see them there, or if there's no one that I can meet up with, I'll just go up on my own, and I'll probably go through, I think I'll go through Haunted Hollow, and then go past Curse, because I think with some of the new stuff that I've seen that they put in, there's kind of like a new entryway that they put in, like the bit near Subterra where you like walk from Curse to Forbidden Valley. They've added some kind of like, almost like an entryway there, so I think that would be probably the best way to go through them. So yeah, I have not got a shovel. Let's go and get a shovel. A shovel. But yeah, it's all very exciting, isn't it? You know what, I might actually make some iron tools. Screw it. Might as well use up the iron before the stone. Let's go. But yeah, it's all very exciting. I think also just seeing people again, to be honest, will be nice, and having a good day. And it'll also probably be a good place to try and put in some of my new kind of partially the behavioural activation stuff, but also the kind of the focus tasks, like what I did today in session, where it's like trying to take away my internal focus and bring it more to an external focus, where I'm kind of like focusing on the stuff around me rather than the stuff that's like in my head and all my feelings and stuff. It doesn't mean not feeling necessarily, it just means kind of focusing on not ruminating on the stuff that's in my mind, more kind of like focusing on what's like in the moment in a way. You know, which still means feeling, but it's not feeling very internal stuff. Like there was one thing I did today, for example, where there was a it was during like the sound exercise where my therapist like played I think some like Pirates of the Caribbean music, and on the first one I had to focus internally, so not focus on the music playing externally, just focus on what I'm feeling internally. And weirdly with that one, I felt the depression start to like creep in at that point. Like it wasn't like fully taking over. I could still like hear the music kind of vaguely in the background, but I almost kind of like dissociated in a way, and started to feel that kind of like depressive cloud kind of looming over. And yet I was just kind of shocked by how quickly that happened, and it kind of explained like when that's happened in the past, but I didn't really know why, like when there's never really a trigger. Like it's because of that, you know, that kind of internal focus happening. And yeah, it was just crazy how like visceral that feeling was. And then I did it externally, and I could focus much more on the music and much more on like the clock ticking as well in the background, kind of the specific kind of staccato of the music. And yeah, not feeling any of that kind of emotional side of it. But again, it doesn't mean that you don't feel emotion. Like you can still feel like, you know, there's something funny that happens in the moment, you can feel that emotion. Or I think my therapist said, like, you know, if something's annoying or whatever, you can still feel that, but it's not internalizing it as much and not kind of rumination. It's more reacting to things happening in the real world rather than things happening in my own head. I don't think that this will fully get rid of the depression. I think, as I said in my last video, that nothing can ever fully get rid of mental illness or depression, you know, or sort out all life's problems. Yeah, therapy can't do that. But I feel like there are still very specific thoughts in my head that this might not necessarily get rid of, but it's a kind of temporary way of dealing with it at the moment, which, you know, and kind of been able to shift that focus. But then I feel like after this I might need something like maybe counselling, interpersonal therapy, whatever, that can actually start to deal with some of the thoughts. But certainly with the scheduling and stuff, it's definitely helping me. I mean, it's getting me recording today, so that's good. And as I say, hopefully this week's a little bit less busy. I know next week, if I'm going up to see Mike and Stace, that might be a little bit more busy. But in my next session, I've said that I might try and bring in some of the hygiene stuff, and so I might be able to do some of that at Mike and Stace's. So maybe I might do, like, I don't know, like toothbrushing or something like that, something simple like that I can just bring in. And that means, because if I'm up at theirs, it means I can't do the recording and editing and stuff, so it means I can do some other form of behavioural activation that can, yeah, hopefully start to get me to function like a normal human being. Because, yeah, that has not been happening for a while. But but yeah, it'll just be nice to see people. I think especially like seeing Stace as well, because like we've talked a lot about like stuff going on in the background and stuff, mental health wise and everything. So it'll just be nice to see her again, and yeah, probably get a big hug when I see her. Because this is the thing as well. I don't know whether I've talked about this on the channel before, but I get kind of like touch starvation in a way, where you basically like, I don't usually have much human physical contact with anyone. Yeah, I'm alone a lot of the time, which means I don't really get to, you know, have hugs or cuddles or hand holding or anything like that. And so, yeah, it's whenever I get it, it's nice, but it's also very kind of overwhelming as well, because I don't get it that often. But also, it's overwhelming, but also it means a lot. It's very meaningful. Like a good example of this is on fireworks. Some of the people in my group were Laura and James from Theme Park Jam. Very nice people, by the way. I briefly met them over the summer. It might have been the summer of 2022, and I saw them in the towers when I was just having a look around on my own. I think it was one of the times when I went with Luke from Coaster Gen and the VTO team and stuff. But I was in the towers on my own for a bit, and I briefly saw them both in the towers, but I didn't know who they were at that point. And then on fireworks, they were part of our group, and so then yeah, I met them again, and they were lovely. But yeah, I remember when they left, because they left a bit earlier than me. I stayed late and went on Curse a load of times, but yeah, but then at the end, Laura actually hugged me before she went, and you know, obviously we'd only properly met each other that day, so it was a bit of a surprise in a way. But again, it was that kind of feeling of like feeling overwhelmed, but also it being very meaningful, even though it might have not felt meaningful on their end. It was very meaningful on mine. I think just because I don't really get that often. I feel kind of weird about it sometimes, well, like I'm being weird and like I shouldn't really look that much into it. But it's like, yeah, you know, when you are alone pretty much every day of your life and you don't get to touch anyone else but your cat, really. And even then, you know, as much as my cats are adorable and, you know, I like cuddling with them and stuff, it's no real replacement for, like, human touch. And I think it's the fact with, like, the meaning behind it as well. You know, like, if you get hugged by someone, there can be a kind of meaningfulness there. And so it's something I'd like more in my life. It's just, I think it's also just, like, in some social situations, it's not always, like, the most appropriate. Like, it depends on the friendship or relationship you have. Fluttering with Stacey, I think she's a hugger. I'm a hugger. Which is weird as well. I don't really think a lot of people would think of me as a hugger that much, but yeah, I'm always up for a hug. You know, I will always take a hug from anyone. I am desperate, god damn it. But yeah, it'll just be nice to have that kind of proper, you know, proper good time to get what's the word, like what is, God, I'm so tired today. What is the word I'm trying to think of? Proper kind of God, this is going to be like one of those dopamine things again, isn't it? Where it's like I remember the word in the editing phase and just start flashing it on screen. Quality time. That is the word. That took a while to get to. Yeah, quality time together. That's what I meant. Yeah, just some quality time together, you know, with Mike and Stace. That'll be great. And also just, I think it's also just like to get me out of my environment as well, because, you know, I'm kind of stuck here in the same place every day, and, you know, it's just to kind of get me out of this environment, get me with new people, you know, not too stressful at all. I mean, Mike and Sis usually pretty easygoing, so that should be nice. Get to see the guinea pigs as well. Should be really nice. I want to see Ember as well. I love, because Ember is, I believe that the three that they have is Ember, Winter, and... Oh, I'm struggling on the third name now. That's bad. Why did I come up here? Hold on. No, I need to put the dirt down first. Ember, Winter, and who is the other one? It's not Annabelle, is it? It's... I'll again, another thing that I'll be flashing on the screen because I forgot the name. But yeah, Ember is basically like a guinea pig version of Phoebe, like really black and floofy. So cute. But yeah, I've never really like held guinea pigs before, so I feel like I'm going to be like really like all over the place with it. But yeah. Also, I believe when I'm you know, when I'd be going up would be I'd be there on the second Thursday of the month, which means, I mean, if we have time in the evening, I might be able to be on Love to Explore actually, but not like over call. I might actually be like there in person, which would be a cool Love to Explore to do. And it would technically be my slot because, yeah, mine's the Scare Seeker's Undertow with on the second Thursday of the month. So, yeah, maybe we want to do that. Although I don't know whether we're going to be in Matlock for the whole day and it might just be Mike on his own. But, yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to do like a Love to Explore with them, like, live on the couch with them. Yeah, that'd be cool. But, yeah. And also, it would be good as well because with the last one, I believe the last one was when we reviewed the Goosebumps episode and my internet just completely went. And, yeah, that was a nightmare. And eventually I had to... Ooh, hello. Hello, travelling trade. God, you jump scared me, right? What have you got to sell? I mean, I'm probably not going to buy anything because you don't usually have much good stuff, right? I've got cactus, horn coral block, spruce, green dye, white tulip, ice. I'm fine. You're fine. I'm not going to hit you because I know these llamas like to spit fire, literally. But yeah, off you go. Get out of me hole. That sounds wrong.
That's what she said.
What was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about like the last Love to Explore, wasn't I? And yeah, I had to go onto my phone in the end because yeah, the internet was dire that night. And yeah, I kept trying to like get in, but yeah, fortunately, I managed to get the streaming link on my phone, and then yeah, managed to go on there. So I think from now on, if I feel like my internet's not going to be great, I'm just going to go onto my phone straight away. Because it wasn't too bad on there, which is good. But yeah, like, it'd be cool to do like a live Love to Explore, and then maybe we could actually have another guest on with us as well at the same time over calls, like me there in person and then someone else over call. That'd be cool. Oh, get out, you llama. No, get out. Get out of my hole. Go on. Shoo. There we go. Right, look at how flat this is now. Right, let's just clear up some of these weeds. Speaking of internet as well, I remember mentioning in the last Power Wash Simulator video about my internet going. There was a reason for that. So that morning, that was the morning where like just everything was going wrong and it was terrible and crazy. But yeah, that morning, my mum went off to London for the week to go and see a friend, and she turned off. She has this like automatic lamp thing, so essentially she has a lamp, but there's like a timer on the plug, which means it turns on and off at certain times. The problem is though, that's plugged into like an extension lead with like the multiple plug sockets, and one of those plug sockets was to like a wireless like a Wi-Fi booster that he gives you. It's like one of those discs, and she unplugged that, and so that's what was causing the Wi-Fi to be so weak, because I was wondering why it was like strong downstairs but weak up here. And it's because yeah, it's because she accidentally turned off that booster. So that is the reason why the Wi-Fi was so shit that day. But yeah, it's all sorted now, so that's good. So that'll be definitely the first thing I check next time the Wi-Fi goes down before I'm about to record. Right, this is going to be annoying because I'm going to have to like fill all this in and try and breathe underwater. And probably fill in the cave. So let's go into the cave. Fortunately, we've got these magma blocks though, so yeah, as I say, if you go on these, they build up your health, but you have to like crouch on them, otherwise you get burned. Sick burn. Right, so let's fill in this cave. Yeah, I'm used to doing this. But yeah, if you get like a helmet with like respiration on and stuff, that can help you breathe underwater. I think it might be like aqua affinity as well, which gives you like yeah, the underwater breathing, but it also gives you like night vision, which means you can see a little bit better, which is always good. Right. Good. Okay. What else can I talk about? I guess I didn't really go fully into the whole Pleasure Beach thing, did I? Yeah, it looked like a bit of a shambles for most. Although I think a lot of people kind of like, despite the issues that they had. They still like enjoyed their day, so that's good. Yeah, because I know that the Joneses went and like they had a good time. It looked like. I think I'll have to go with them at some point this year as well to Pleasure Beach because I need to visit Pleasure Beach. I think the main aims for me this year are Pleasure Beach and Chessington. I think they're the ones I'd like to visit. I think I'll go to Thorpe at some point to do Hyperia and stuff, but yeah, obviously not in the best of moods with Thorpe still. I think it's just going to take a few visits just to yeah, be happy with them again. Let's collect some of these magma blocks. But yeah, it looked like the main issues were like a lot with operations, but also like I believe the big one was supposed to be open as well, but it was still testing. And there were some things that like Amanda Thompson posted. I think yeah, I think a lot of people aren't in the best mood with her, but yeah. But I just find it so funny as well that like there's so many people like complaining about like Pleasure Beach and stuff, yet they still go. Like they still go to it, and there's like that whole thing with like the whole the tweet, the dreaded tweet that they made to do with identifying as stuff. And I just think in that situation, because I know that there's been some people who've said like some people specifically like in the trans community and stuff who have been saying like that they're boycotting Pleasure Beach. I think that's fair enough, but like they're waiting for an apology. It's like I don't think you're gonna get it, guys. I think if they were gonna give an apology, they would have done that by now. And I just think it's like it wasn't in great taste, but I don't think it's the worst thing that they could have done. And I found it funny. I saw someone actually tweet saying like that. They weren't necessarily angry with it. It was just a bit cringe, and like all these people complain about it. They're not angry or aggressive. It's just it's a bit cringy, and it's like really because it seemed you were all kind of angry about it. I think it's just I don't know. I just think some of the controversies that happen they get blown a bit out of proportion. Like yes, was it the best? Was it in the best taste? No, but was it like was it done like out of malicious intent? I don't think so, and I think there's a lot of other things you can complain about with Pleasure Beach. I really don't think that this is the biggest one to grind our axes with. Like I feel like in regards to like trans issues and stuff, I feel there are way more like way more pressing issues with it, like with things our government are doing, with things certain reactionary people online talk about. I think they're kind of the things where we should be focusing on, not a dumb silly tweet that Blackpool Pleasure Beach made, which I'm pretty sure came from someone on the social media team who was a bit unaware of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think maybe we should be focusing on more important issues than dumb tweets by Pleasure Beach. But enough of that. Yeah, I mean, I think there were, like I saw a picture of the Wallace and Gromit ride and like the big Wallace that's on top, and there was like a pigeon staying up there, which was really funny. But yeah, it was fun. Just like it was just fun to see like people enjoying their day. To be honest, which was great, really cool. I might just take these magma blocks with me as well to place underwater if I need to. Right, sheets and Poppy. Right, yeah, let's get some iron and craft a shovel. Yeah, I'm really tired today. I don't really know if I'm even going to get to the point of actually building the orchard today as well. It might be just a lot of filling in this this crevice of water. Oh god, no, I didn't get any dirt. God damn it! No, new. In fact, what I might do is actually no, I'll just go this way. What other things were people complaining about with Pleasure Beach? I think it might have been like general ride availability. Oh, I saw some people as well saying that apparently they were using like some actual guests to test the rides, and it's like that's not safe at all. Yeah, definitely shouldn't have been doing that. But yeah, that's just from what I heard. I'm assuming it happened. I don't know. Wasn't there, but yeah, I think if I do go, it'd be good just to go at like a quieter point during the season. Also, I need to figure out how like the booking system works. Like, the problem is, in a way, the problem is it's not owned by Merlin, which means that I have to pay separately instead of on my annual pass. But yeah, maybe I might go with the Joneses at one point, because I know that they like to go to Pleasure Beach a bit, and they can guide me round like they did at the pirate event, and you know, guide me how to do the ticketing and stuff. Maybe might stay overnight or something in one of the hotels or whatever, and just yeah, you know, just do a weekend of it, and like not just do Pleasure Beach, maybe do Passage del Terra again. That'd be good. I'm not sure whether the Joneses want to do it as well. They're more than welcome to join me, but I can understand if they don't, and they can just wait in the Horror Bar Cafe and see me come out. Maybe they can film me running out. That'd be good. Because yeah, I don't know whether I'd be actually okay to do Passage on my own, because it's like, even just doing it with me and Joe, it was terrifying enough. Like, doing it on my own, because I know that Joe's done it on his own a few times, and yeah, it was yeah, he was genuinely like, you know, he said it, I think he's fallen in love with it now, because yeah, it's so good. But yeah, I don't know, it's a very intense maze, Passage del Terra. I love it. I think the thing that I have the issue with is the lack of storyline. I think there is a bit of storyline in there, but it's like, there's not like like, for example, Altonville Mine Tours takes place in a mine. You know, the Attic takes place in an attic. Darkest Depths on the Mutiny, like the sunken ship. While with Passage del Terra, it's a mashup maze, which means there's like multiple themes, multiple different things all mashed up together. And it's also the fact that it uses like specific, like it doesn't use its own characters necessarily. It uses like Michael Myers and Ghostface and Freddy Krueger and stuff like that, and so it kind of detaches you a little bit from that as well, because it's like, what's the continuity of this universe, you know? And I kind of like to have that with my mazes and my storylines, but it's still very effective. You know, that Ghostface jump scare in like the mirror corridor, where essentially it's a Pepper's ghost of, well, is it Pepper's ghost? I don't know, but it's essentially where like you see Ghostface. Well, for us it was Ghostface anyway. I believe it used to be a vampire. They used to be at the end of that corridor, and essentially you go to the end of the corridor, you see Ghostface there, but then he moves from the side of the corridor, and it turns out it's a mirror at the end of that corridor, and then Ghostface like comes out from the side and jump scares you in front of you, which, terrifying, genuinely the scariest jump scare I've ever had in a scare maze. Yeah, really terrifying, really scary. I don't know where I'm going now. I'll start over here with the pumpkins. But yeah, I'd love to try it again though, and do things like I've never done Sea Life in Blackpool, and apparently that's a really good one. So yeah, I'll do that. Probably do the dungeon again. Do Two Swords, Madame Two Swords. That'd be good, and just spend a good weekend there. But I think I just, you know, need to save up some money, go at like a quieter time as well. Because yeah, if I stay over, I'll need to obviously pay for a hotel, need to pay for Pleasure Beach, need to pay for transport up there. Unless if I can get a lift off, you know, if I do go with the Joneses or whoever I go with, whatever. But yeah, I think that's definitely something I need to do. And then Chessington. I mean, Chessington's a bit easier because, you know, Milan Annual Pass, I can do that. Go down to London somewhere, get like a cheap hotel. Or even if I have enough money, go and stay at the hotel there, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they've got some nice themed rooms there, actually. I think the Joneses stayed at like the Capri Sun room or something. It might have been. I know they've got like an Oreo room as well. If you get free Oreos with that, I'd be very tempted by that room. But yeah, be good to go to them. And then later on in the year, I've got, I think, I might as well announce this now, because I think I announced it on Scare Seekers accidentally, so I might as well announce it now. I'll be going to a new event this year, which is Tully Shocktoberfest, which is the biggest scare event in Europe. Me and Joe booked a ticket last year for it, but unfortunately things clashed, and so we had to change our tickets to this year, which we managed to do easily, which is good. So hopefully we should be doing that this year, and yeah, it should be hopefully really awesome. Going there, you know, massive scare event, big scare park, essentially like Burton Scream Best, but on a much bigger level. We also managed to get like an offer where it's essentially 11 fast tracks, because it's kind of like how Burton Scream Fest worked this year, where essentially general admission, you can go through the maze as many times as you want, but you have to queue up, but then you can also buy fast tracks. So we got a thing where it was like, I think it was like 60 quid for 11 fast tracks plus just like general entry, And I think you might get like food and drink and stuff. I'm not sure, but yes, that's gonna be really cool to do. And I'll be in my new costume as well this year doing that, which I haven't fully revealed yet. I revealed it to a few people. A few people know what it is, simply because I wanted to tell some people, as people who've like maybe like revealed things to me as well, helped me out with things. I thought, oh, here's a little treat. Here's a prototype of my costume. You probably guessed sort of what the theme's going to be with some of the sound effects and stuff that I've used on the teasers that I put up so far, and a hat that you've seen. I think the hat's the only thing you guys have seen, right? But yeah, it's going to be a cool costume. I think it's going to be genuinely the best costume I've done for Scare Season. It's going to be a really cool one. Very similar to like the Human Experiment, the first costume that I did, very kind of expressive in a way in regards to actions. I think like with the skin snatchery, it was a little bit harder to be expressive in a way with it. This one really is. It's going to be very kind of eye-catching and noticeable, and yes, very, very entertaining. That's a little clue I'll give you for you. Very entertaining indeed. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting one to do. Right, let's get the shovel while I'm here. But yeah, this is essentially what I have to do on landscaping, just constantly build up a load of dirt, you know, kind of destroy the mountain, fill in gaps and holes. That's pretty much it. I'm probably just going to call this episode landscaping, I imagine. And then if I continue next time, it'll be more landscaping, and then even more landscaping. It'll just be 20 episodes of me just landscaping until this whole area has been kind of flattened off for me to make an orchard. But then once I made the orchard, I can then start like building buildings, I guess. I didn't actually craft the shovel, did I? I'm out of it today. I'm out of it most of the time, but what I'm hoping with the as I bring the behavioural activation in, I become a little bit more energized, hopefully. Being able to, like, because one thing that, it's not exactly behavioural activation, but it's kind of a side thing which I'm doing, is trying to wake up and go to bed at the same time every day. So wake up at 8 o'clock every day, go to sleep at 11, go around that time. Obviously some days, depending what I'm doing, I might need to wake up earlier or whatever, but like with towers, for an example, I don't even know what time I'm going to get there. I'm thinking try and get to park for about 8, hopefully, and then I'll be there like way before opening. So that's kind of my general guess, but to be honest, I'd be willing to get there earlier if I need to. In fact, to be honest, maybe even go and meet some people at the hotel before they get onto park. Like, obviously I won't be able to queue up with them at the hotel entrance because I'd need a hotel booking, but yeah, you know, I'd be more than happy to go and see them at the hotel from there early enough. But then again, I'd have to be dropped off there at that point. But yeah, maybe 8ish I might get there. But like, so on that day, for example, I might have to wake up a lot earlier. Well, not might, I will have to wake up earlier. But yeah, just trying to get that like same sleep cycle in, which means then I'll get used to like being awake during these hours of the day and stuff, which will be helpful, and hopefully get me a bit more energized, and actually mean I'm actually having the right amount of meals as well, breakfast, lunch and tea. Like today, for example, I woke up a bit later and I had my appointment, so I had lunch instead, kind of like a brunch in a way, which, yeah, I'd rather like try and have like the 3 meals per day rather than like keep swapping and changing and stuff. So yeah, it's just trying to like get like more of a normal schedule and regime and stuff. That's mainly kind of what the CBT is. But one thing I really do appreciate from the CBT is that I'm kind of, because for a while I've been very skeptical about CBT. I felt like it's kind of the automatic therapy that you get given originally, and yeah, like it's God, I'm just out of it today. How many times have I said that now this episode? I'm just out of it. But yeah, I've always kind of felt like it's just like the automatic therapy that you get given, that everyone gets given, and like it works for most people, but it doesn't really work for me. What I'm kind of glad about is that I've kind of realised what CBT is in a way, like, and how it works a bit more kind of specifically, a little bit more in depth, It's kind of less surface level stuff, more like that I actually understand how it works and how it kind of can affect me. As I say, I don't think it's going to be like the be-all, end-all cure in any way. I think there's still a lot more other stuff that I need to do in other therapies, but I think it will certainly help to make me be a little bit more active, have a little bit more of a better schedule. So even if I'm still having these thoughts and feelings and still have the depression and the anxiety, I can at least still live a normal life despite all that. I think we're doing it in a bit more of a manageable way where it actually works for me a bit better. Again, still very early days. This is the second week of me like kind of working in the behavioural activation, but yeah, you know, I certainly noticed an improvement last week. It's just I didn't manage to do all I wanted to do because of the things that kept getting in the way. But yeah, I definitely noticed a bit of more of a productive difference though, which is good. So that's good. I need to be like a little bit less harsh on myself though, because there were like things where it's like, for example, I met up with David at the weekend, but at that point it kind of stopped me from doing the video production stuff. And it's kind of more being a little bit less harsh on myself, where it's like, it's okay for me to like be flexible with it, because it's going to be flexible anyway, because it like depends on how long a video is. You know, it might shift around when I do the editing, when I do the recording, when I do, you know, the uploading and stuff. So I have like a general plan in place, but that will swap and change depending on the video that I do and depending on how long that takes. It might take longer than I expect. It might be less long than I expect. You know, I might be able to get a video edited in a day instead of 2 days, you know. So I might be kind of ahead of schedule, I might be behind on schedule, but it's also that if things come up that I don't expect, if things come up last minute, then it's about trying to be flexible with that, not be too harsh on myself with it, I think. And yeah, just try and be flexible with it, really. But still get that kind of like sense of achievement that, you know, that dopamine. I remembered it again this time. Yeah, just trying to get that little dopamine hit and feel better about myself, hopefully. That'd be nice. It would be nice if I didn't be so self-deprecating. And then again, that's like a British thing, isn't it? We're all self-deprecating, aren't we? That's being good and British. Good and proper. Hey. Right. Did I just hear that llama scream again? Where is he? Where is the llama? Or is it an alpaca? I'm not sure. What's the difference? I'll probably put in the editing what the difference is between a llama and an alpaca. I don't know. I remember once, does everyone know what pull me push shoes are? Or like the ones where it's like kind of a llama or an alpaca, but it's got like two heads on both sides. Like, it's got like the one body in the middle, but it's got like a head on both sides. I think I'd like to say when I was younger, but it was probably actually a bit longer than that. That I actually thought they were real. Like, I actually thought they were a real animal. Crazy. They're not. I don't think they are they? I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those like museum oddities or something where a pull me push shoe actually exists. I don't know. I think I said this last time, but I get onto the most random topics, don't I? I don't know. It's difficult to talk about stuff for a while. I think especially now I'm getting uploads up more regularly as well. It's like there's less stuff happening in the week or like in the days between uploads, which means it's difficult to talk about more stuff. Is there anything else I can talk about? I don't know. I've already talked about Nemi. It's looking great. It's looking really good. I'm glad that I'm a little bit more hyped for it now. It's just hoping that I can feel like it's a really good ride. Like everything that I'm seeing, I'm loving. I'm loving how it looks. It was a few weeks back where it's like I was liking everything, but I wasn't feeling hyped. And like, you know, everything was good. I couldn't really complain about anything, but I just wasn't hyped for it. Now I'm getting the hype, which is good. You know, everything I'm seeing is looking great. The one thing that I'm still a little bit, have a bit of trepidation on is about the comfort levels, whether it's going to be comfortable enough, smooth enough. Again, still have that intensity, still have that like speed and make it feel like it's a creature and a monster, but I'm hoping that it's smooth enough, you know, and it's not too rough. Doesn't make my head bash. I'll probably still have my head forwards. The way that I've found is the best way to ride Nemesis is, for anyone who needs any tips on it, the best way I've found to ride Nemesis is to, like, head, because it always says on, like, the on like the announcements and on like the little signs on like the back of the on the back of the seats in front of you is like, sit back, it's fright time. But I'm like, no, hold your head forwards, otherwise you get your head bashed in. And so I always do that, kind of like, you know, head forwards and kind of, huh? Why is this not? That should be giving me air. It's not giving me air. Yeah, what I've always found with Nemesis is hold your head forwards and then kind of don't hold on. Kind of just like have your arms like down to the sides and just like let go in a way. And yeah, it makes it way more comfortable. It's not, you know, there is still sometimes head bashing with it, but I guess just depending on the seat or, I don't know, maybe the weather or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely more comfortable doing it that way. If you want any advice on other rides, Smiler, my favourite roller coaster. I'm hoping Nemi might actually be able to beat it, because I think actually the theming is beating Smiler's, I think. Don't get me wrong, you got like the Marmalizer and stuff, and the optical procedure block and stuff. But I just feel like Nemesis, there's so much more storyline theming and stuff. Again, John Burton doing his best. By the way, I hope everyone noticed the zombies last time. I did a little edit in the Power Wash video. Right, if you want to know what my editing process is for editing those things in, I don't plan those things in the video. It's literally, if I see it in the edit and go, that's funny, I do it. And with the zombies, it was like, I realised, oh my god, it's zombies. Zombie, they're like John Burton, but there's an army of zombies. And in this, I'm probably just going to put them on screen as I keep saying zombie. But I laughed my head off with that. It was so funny. And then, yeah, I just found a load of pictures of John Burton and then edited them together. So, yeah, little army of zombies. I hope he one day sees that video and just... I hope he's pleased by that, if he ever decides to watch my channel. If he's on YouTube, I don't know. I know Bianca Sammett's on YouTube. Yeah, I saw that. I've subscribed to her. But... yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about the comfort levels on rides, wasn't I? So with Smiler, what I always feel is the... oh, I need to go and collect some more dirt in a minute. What I feel is the most comfortable on Smiler is hold on for the whole thing. So like brace yourself for the whole thing, apart from on points of air time. So any loop, when you're going over a loop, when you're going over like some of the bunny hills and stuff, at those points, let go. So and any points of airtime, like hold on for most of it, and then on a, you know, if you go over a loop, just let go, and you feel so weightless in those moments, and it makes it feel really good. And I mean, obviously you can't always choose, but the closer you are to the front, the smoother the ride you're normally going to get. I'd normally say also, really on any of the rides with like any like 4 seats and stuff, try and stay in the middle seats, because it always feels a little bit more comfortable. I guess it feels a little bit more wild. Like if you want more of a wild ride, go onto the outside, like the edge seats. But I'd say always, if you want like kind of a more comfortable, secure ride, go on the middle seats. I'd say that for Nemi and for Smiler. Always more comfortable on those seats. And yeah, just with Smiler, close to the front, the better. With Nemesis, I'm not too sure, to be honest, which one's the most comfortable. Front row's always cool, though. It's always cool to go front row. I'm hoping they still have the front row queuing system as well. That'd be good. Although I am hoping, I've heard some things, apparently there's going to be, when I met up with Dave at the weekend, I have heard that apparently there might be some new things in the station, which would be good. Finally, it's not going to be a shed. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe there might be like a kind of new batching system, because it used to be that, you know, you'd go and pick your own row, and there was a little bit of chaos with that. It'd be kind of nice, this kind of like a batching system where you actually get batched into particular rows. That'd be good. But yeah, another ride, Rita, which I've grown a little bit more love to Rita. To be fair, I don't think it's an amazing ride. I kind of hate the fact that it's kind of lumped in with the other secret weapons when it's not. It's like a secret weapon wannabe. But yeah, I think the layout's still a little bit boring. I think it doesn't fit Dark Forest at all. You know, it honestly, it didn't really fit Ugland either, did it? Like, it's like it's a raceway one. I feel like it needs to be like Spinball Wizard, where it has its own area. Similar to Stealth, to be honest. Like Stealth at Thorpe Park, the better one. Yeah, it has its own area. You know, it has the Stealth Plaza. And I feel like Stealth's better than Rita, because not only is it more comfortable, but it's also the fact that it has, I mean, I'd say a better layout. It's just the fact that you get to like go up in the air as well. You have like a lovely view of like the lake and stuff, and or if you look the other way, you see the rest of the park, which is good. And then you also have that kind of thing with Oblivion where you have like the drop, and obviously it's faster as well. And it's kind of like a thing which I learned from Planet Coaster when I played that briefly, which is that if you go really quick on a turn, it's going to be really uncomfortable. And with Stealth, there's not really many turns. It's the one, you know, you go up and then it turns at the top. With Rita, there's loads of turns, so obviously that's going to be very uncomfortable, like going on a layout really quick with a lot of turns in it. But when I did the Rita ART at the Towers Time Summer Festival, I think from having to go on it multiple times, I found a comfortable way to ride it, which is when you're going on the launch, hold back. It's like hold yourself back in your seat. But then when you've got to the end of that launch and you're doing the turn, go forwards in your seat and hold your head forwards. That stops like the head bashing, but also it just feels kind of better and more comfortable when like on the launch you hold back, and then as you go into the launch, when you get to the end of it, go forwards and then just hold forwards at the for the rest of the ride, really, and that made it way more comfortable. I also found that being in the right seat on the right side, I don't really think it mattered on the row, but being on the right seat was normally more comfortable than the left. So yeah, bit of advice there, at least from my perspective. Obviously with different people, like for example, there's one of the moderators on the VTO Discord server, Matthew, who I met up with, I think, Scarefest 2022. I briefly met up with him. Very nice guy. But he's a bit taller than me, and so I think he never really had a problem with the Nemi head bashing because his head actually went like above the restraints. So, you know, lucky him. I'm 5'9", so which, fun fact, is the same height as Joaquin Phoenix, who played Joker, and I love the film Joker. Just a little fun fact for you there. So yeah, I'm the same height as him. So, you know, these things can obviously depend on different people. You know, obviously, a lot of people found Nemi very comfortable. I personally didn't. And so but then again, I then went on Nemesis Inferno, which is pretty much kind of the same type of ride, and there were some little bits which were a little bit rough slightly in the second half, but nowhere near as the original Nemi. And I think it's just because it was 30 years old, like, you know, that was going to happen, which is why this retrack needed to happen to give it another 30 years life. So I'm hoping that when I come off, I can just feel what like people probably felt in 1994, like going on this brand new, like, amazing ride, and I want to fall in love with it like everyone else has. And yeah, I want to feel like that emotion. I want to feel like that passion towards it that everyone else has. And as I say, I would love it to become my new favourite coaster because I'm loving the look of it. It's just the ride experience itself. And from hearing about like immersive storytelling techniques, that's really getting me excited as well. So yeah, really hoping that Nemesis Reborn will work. And I think an indicator of whether I like it will depend on how much merch I get for it on the day. I'll probably get a pin, to be honest. I love my pin badges, as you might be able to tell, with the big like pin badge like bag sash thing that I have that my mum made. Yeah, she actually made that. So yeah, it's a custom item, I guess, if anyone's wondering where I got it from. Yeah, so I'll probably get a pin on opening day, but if I get a t-shirt, you'll know I like it. I mean, obviously, got my Altonville one at the moment. I got all the Scare Maze ones just because I love Scare Mazes, but I also got a Curse Alton Manor t-shirt because I love that ride so much. So if Nemi can do it, I'd also be good like to have my favourite ride right next to my favourite coaster. That'd be so cool, like, you know. And yeah, I want to love Nemesis. Like, this is the thing, I want to love it. It's just, you know, I need to actually like the way it feels when riding it. You know, it's not just about storyline. I think for a lot of people it's like nostalgia as well. You know, a lot of people who rode it back in 1994, or I remember speaking to Nikki from Lush Velvet Coasters. I speak to her on Twitter sometimes, but I think it was that she uploaded a video where she was on BBC Radio. I think it was BBC Radio Stoke. I can't remember. She did a great job on it, by the way. She seems really nice as well. I'd love to like properly like you know, if I ever see her on Park at one point, like probably have like a little chat with her because she seems lovely. Yeah, I was talking in a comment section about on that video about, because she said that she'd only properly started going to like Alton Towers and theme parks and stuff in like 2019, I think, and so that was the first time that she rode Nemesis. And it's just crazy because we kind of had very similar journeys, because I started regularly going to theme parks in 2018. So that's probably when I would have started regularly riding Nemesis. And she started riding Nemesis in 2019. And we have such similar journeys and yet such different takes on the original Nemesis that she loves it. You know, massive fan of it. And I was like, it's fine. Like, you know, I wasn't as big of a fan of it. And so it's just interesting to have those comparisons in a way. And so, yeah, I kind of really want to get that same feeling that everyone else has. And it'd be really cool if I was, like, really emotional about it on opening day as well. Like, you know, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I'll try and... This time I'll hopefully try and get my instant reaction, because with Curse at Alton Manor, unfortunately, because I was having those issues with my SD card on opening day... well, not issues with the SD card, the fact that I just had the wrong SD card in. A lot of the footage got corrupted, unfortunately, which means that a lot of the original reaction to coming off Curse is completely gone, unfortunately. If you want a summary of what it was we were all in shock and awe, because we had a really amazing experience on it. Oh, have you been detached from your trader? Oh, sorry, little llama. Oh, we got a little leash. There we go. I got a leash. Oh, do you want your leash back? Nah, roam free. But yeah, it would be just like really cool if I could have a really cool reaction on opening day. Be awesome. I think just seeing a load of people, so it would be nice to see some people who are recognised from like social media. I know there's a few people who can't go, especially with like the whole issue with rap as well, which I think the problem with rap, like, I don't know whether necessarily... I think definitely the problem with, like... Because essentially there's been, like, a new rap booking system for all the Merlin parks. If you don't know what rap is, Ride Access Pass, essentially for people who have disabilities or can't queue for a long time. And I think one of the issues I think there definitely was that they released the tickets too early. They were meant to release them at 10 a.m. and they released them, like, a couple of hours earlier. That's not great form. But I think there's also the fact that it's a difficult issue, because I think it's very difficult to work out what you need to do with it. And I worry with it that people are going to take kind of the wrong message from it, because there's basically with rap is that if you have a rap pass, then you can bring 3 guests along with you. But the problem is there are some people that abuse it, and I worry that some people think that if you have an invisible disability, that you're not using it validly, which I think I disagree with that sentiment. Like, you know, I spoke to someone who said that essentially so someone in the Thuzy community who said that if you have anxiety, you shouldn't be going to a theme park. Like, you shouldn't be going on roller coasters, because if you're that scared, if you have that much anxiety or stress, you shouldn't be riding roller coasters. And it's like, that is just a complete... I think this is just me just going on because of my, you know, strong stance on mental illness and stuff. And this was someone who suffered with their own mental illness as well. But I think that just kind of shows that even if you have your own mental issues, or like you suffer with things like depression, anxiety, doesn't mean that you'll necessarily understand everyone else's point of view. But I think it's just a complete misunderstanding of anxiety, because anxiety can affect you in different ways. Like, I have anxiety, but I can go through a scare maze, which is incredibly scary and anxiety inducing at times. You know, I can go on roller coasters where they are big and scary, and, you know, I can do that. But I have social anxiety, which means that being in situations with a lot of new people, or being in, you know, quite crowded spaces or whatever, yeah, it can give me anxiety. Now, for me, it's not enough to need a rat pass, but I can understand it for other people who have invisible illnesses. You know, I remember in the pandemic, there were people who started wearing these, like, lanyards with, like, flowers on, and it's for people who have, like, invisible conditions and disabilities. And for those people, yeah, some of them need wrap. Like, there are some people who struggle to queue for long times, whether it be a physical condition or whether it be a mental condition, where, like, yeah, you might be fine being on a ride and being, you know, going down around, like, the general paths of the park and stuff like that and talking to other people. But when you're in, like, a confined queue line for a long period of time, yeah, you might be stressed. And it might happen sometimes, it might not happen all the time. And so what I worry about is that people are going to start to say that, well, because you have an invisible illness, because, you know, people like that person who said that if you have anxiety, you shouldn't be in a theme park. I worry if that becomes the mentality, it's not really solving the problem. It's just kind of segregating people off who do actually need wrap, but might be seen to not because they have something that's invisible. I think it's a very hard issue to contend with, and I don't really know what the solution is myself. But I think there is a solution that needs to be come up with, and I think from some things that I've been hearing from other people from certain sources, there are going to be improvements made, other than, you know, other than this whole Rat Pass booking system. I think we should all wait and see till the season actually starts, because I've been hearing some pretty good things about it from certain people, and yeah, it's going to be really cool. Really cool stuff coming, not just for other things in the park, but also for RAP specifically, and for kind of accessibility across the park and stuff. So yeah, but I think that there definitely needs to be like a good solution to the RAP issue, I think, because I remember on Fireworks, I kind of felt a bit guilty, because with the group I was with, we had 3 RAP users, which that's not the bit I felt guilty about, by the way. But it's essentially with 3 RAP users, you can have 3 people per RAP user. So there was a group of 9 of us, but that meant 6 of us didn't need to use the RAP queue, and yet we did. And I felt guilty about that, because it's like, well, we're kind of being part of the problem at that point. It's like, I didn't need to use the RAP queue, but I wanted to be with that group of people because I didn't want to be alone. So, so yeah, it's like, it's technically you're able to do it, but, you know, I was, you know, that was within the RAP rules. You are allowed 3 guests per RAP user. We had 3 RAP users, so therefore that was 9 of us altogether. But it just sometimes feels like that's part of the problem. Like, I feel like maybe it should be limited to 2 people instead, or, you know, if you have multiple people with RAP, you know, with a RAP pass, maybe only, you know, maybe limit the number of guests that you can have alongside that, because, you know, if you've got multiple people with RAP, it means you don't really need the other people with you. And I get, like, you know, you want to be part of the same group, but it's like, that's the kind of stuff which causes the long queues. But again, it's a very complex issue. It's not something that I have a specific solution to. There's always going to be pros and cons with it, but yeah, hopefully they can find something that works for everyone and works out well. I think the booking system is the best they can do out of a tough situation, to be honest. Because yeah, I can't really judge it when I don't really have a solution myself. So yeah, God, who knew that I was going to go on that long of a tangent about bloody RAP? But yeah. How did I even get onto that tangent? I don't even know. Not a clue. God, I'm tired now. What I might do is, I mean, I've been recording for about an hour. I know I probably haven't been doing the most interesting gameplay, but, you know, this is how gameplay works in Minecraft. You sometimes have to, yeah, do a lot of slow landscaping and stuff. So I've been recording for about an hour now, so I might go back to my house and call it an episode. Don't know why I went Yorkshire then. Hey, by gum.
Hey, by gum.
Okay, it's night time now anyway. Also, I feel like I need to get on with some tea at some point, so yeah, about an hour episode, that'll do. I talked about a load of cool stuff, didn't I? Like a cool kid. Yeah. And hopefully, like, as I say, the more that my kind of behavioural activation comes in, the more hopefully energetic I will be on these videos, and hopefully I'll be a little bit more lively and sprightly, and maybe even be able to record for a bit longer. But I think for now, I think that's done for today. So yeah, I'll just show you this area. So essentially, the orchard will go across this area. So I need to kind of landscape this bit, landscape that bit, and then have a big old orchard full of trees that will give me some oak wood that will help me make other constructions. Like, I need to create an enchanting room, nether portal room, and yeah, a load of other stuff. A farm. I'll need to create a farm at one point. So yeah, that is all from me. I'll just go to bed quickly to get that bit of satisfaction, dopamine. So yeah, that is all from me today. I'll probably be doing more landscape probably for the next episode, maybe for the episode after that as well. So it might be quite boring, but hopefully with opening day and stuff looming, I'll have more stuff to talk about, hopefully, and also going to see Mike and Stace, hopefully, which will be good. And yeah, just going out and doing things, more stuff with therapy as well. So yeah, I'm tired. Fortunately, my voice hasn't gone too much, but I'm still a bit thirsty, so I'll go and get a drink in a minute. This time I'm going to get the outro right. because I keep getting it wrong, and so I'm going to get it right. So until then, until the next video should be Halton Files. It'll be Welcome to Bond's Burgers, so a new horror game to do, and then hopefully I can get onto the main series, because I really want to get onto the main series with that. So until then, until Welcome to Bond's Burgers, I will see you next time. Bye.